go. Know what it is? It's a good day to build a house. That's right, we're going to build a wall. So today, it's porch day. I'm using a laser level now, so we'll see how that goes. It's only a cheapy one. I think it was on Amazon. We'll see how that works out. So we're all set up. We've got our mixer all over here. We're all ready to go. Let's get this done. This is a 4-to-1 mix. I'm clearly making a right meal of this. I mean, anyone that does this on a regular basis would have had this done, like, I don't know, 2 hours ago. Anyway, I'm making my way around. It's a little bit slightly awkward because it's more of a pillar than it is a sort of a wall, because it's coming round on itself, but that'll become more clear a bit later. So essentially, I'm getting these blocks up to a certain point. Then I'm going to put the insulation between the blocks before it gets too high on one side where I can't get them in. Again, you'll see that. I wanted to do it this way because it gave the whole wall more stability as I went along. You can see I've got the laser up the corner there. I was quite pleased with this. I mean, yeah, it took me forever, but I made sure it was dead straight, and that's one hell of a dead straight wall. That laser's bang on. So I'm just going to carry on going round. This one is good practice, although it's going to be there forever. It doesn't matter if it's not neat because it's all being rendered, so you're not going to see any of it anyway. But when I get round the back, I've got a bit more of a clue of what I'm doing, and everything was a bit quicker. But yeah, no, I'm pleased with it. It's come on well. Here we go. This is the insulation in the wall. Now this is tissue on one side. It's 90mm PIR. Apparently it's really good stuff, so that's that. Now I'm here putting the first lintel of 2 in there. By this point I've already made it up on both sides, got to as high up as I really need to, put a little bed of mortar on there, and I'm just going to sit this on here now and take my time on getting it absolutely dead straight from left to right and front to back. Get it as perfect as I can, because that's going to make going forward a lot easier with the window frame and everything. Now we've got the lintel in place up there. Yep. We've got to put DPC. So it works the same way as the cavity tray does, with the weep holes on either end, but it has to go over the top of the lintel. And here it is here, this stuff, all this. We get this DPC. I've measured it out to be the same length as the lintel, but with an extra bit so it comes around the edges. I'll show you that in a minute. So we just cut this stuff. Tell you what, this is great, this stuff. You could use it for loads of things. before I put the DPC cavity tray over the top of the lintel here, I've got a gap between this bit of timber and the next bit. So I'm going to cut, I have cut, I'm going to put these up here like this, overlapping a bit, but because they're only 25mm, I'm going to double them up, sort of brick fashion, so they overlap each other up here, so it goes between here and the next bit, and then I'll put the DPC in, and then we can start putting our mortar. I'm going to put a mortar bed on here first. I mean, it's dead level, but that's the dumb thing. Mortar bed, then your brick, block, whatever you're using, and then DPC where the wood timber meets the top of the block. Stops any moisture transferring between the two. Let's get that done. DPC in. What's important is the DPC goes all the way over the top of the lintel and then up a brick level, about 150mm, into the mortar bed on the inner leaf. So now I've done that, I've got to put a bed of mortar now on top of the lintel on here. Give it a sweep and a clean, and then bed that DPC down onto the mortar. Bed of mortar goes on there, and then the block can go in. It's obvious when you think about it. There you go, that's that line of bricks all the way in, like that. You've got your weep holes at each end. There's one. I'll clean them up when it gets a bit drier. I've put a DPC layer here so no moisture can wick up the brick block into the wood, to the timber. So I'm going to put a mortar, fill this gap in with mortar now underneath this DPC. And as you can see, the DPC goes everywhere it needs to be, all the way through. Yeah, when this is dry, I'll skim it, make it nice and neat, and then trim off the excess. I'm going to use a clever little gadget for this. I'm going to actually pump the mortar in that gap, so it goes all the way through the depth of the brick. And I'll show you what that is. Right, what I'm going to use is this. If you can see that. Hang on, bring it around that side. One of them. You get different ends for it, like this. That's the size I need on there. And this screws on the end, like that, I think. It's not too tight. Yeah. You fill the tube with water, relatively watery mix, nothing too crazy. And then you put this together like this, and then you pump it out. How cool is that? So that will mean I can pump it into that gap all the way along. Nice and neat. So as you can see, it's quite watery mix, nothing too much. You just fill the tube up. the idea is you push that in there. I'm squeezing that into there. See it going in. Not easy with one arm. Weighs a ton. How good is that? Right, you get the gist. So I'm going to use two hands now. Now, we don't have to be too neat because it's being rendered, and also this is having wood coming over the top all the way down to about here. So as long as it's just doing its job, it doesn't have to look particularly good, which is a bit like that. Right, when that's dry, I'll trim that off, clean that all up, smooth that over, make that look a bit neater, although we're not going to see it, but you know. Excuse me, madam. What are you up to? Well, that's a good lot done for this time. So next time, we're going to carry on with the blocks at the back, get the PIR insulation in. That was a bit involved, more involved than I thought, and getting the back lintel in. So until then, what do? We give it a go.